Hi everyone, welcome back to 78 Reflections. My name is Patty Elaine and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to do a very simple 3-card spread inspired by the Chariot card and the Mindful Tarot, and it is the wobble reading. If you don't know, I love the wobble reading, and in fact, one of the very first things I did when I started my channel was to do a series of wobble readings. Today we're not going to do a series, but I thought we could, pull some cards and see what's going on. So what I like to do for my wobble readings is I like to ask, what energy is showing up for me today? And I like to use flyers. So if this takes a while, I might fast forward through this part for you. There we go. Take the first one. Oh, the 6 of Swords. So the sixes are about harmony, and swords are about our thoughts, ideas, and perceptions. When I think about the 6 of Swords, I think of moving from rougher waters into smoother waters. And in order for us to do that, in order for us to move forward with harmony, we need to be able to trust the water, our intuition, to carry it. I can definitely see that showing up in my life right now. I feel like there's a lot of change going on. I don't necessarily love change. So I'm going to ask for my second card, what energy is counterbalancing or competing with the 6 of Swords for me today? Well, the sun. I do think of the sun as, a bright and cheery energy, illuminating whatever it shines upon. I also think of the sun as an invitation for us to show up authentically. And the other thing about the sun, which is different than this 6 of Swords, and so I think it's an interesting counterbalance, is I think the sun really invites presence of being in the here and now. Looking at this imagery in the Morgan Greer, you see it's a bit different of imagery than I'm used to seeing for the sun. Usually it's a baby or infant or small child on a horse. And this imagery is interesting because these people are looking at each other face to face, up close and personal. And so I do think that really kind of reinforces my idea of showing up for who you really are and seeing each other for who you really are. So we have on one side, we have this feeling of movement, of going from rougher waters to smoother waters, at least in our mind, in our thoughts, ideas, and perceptions. But we also have counterbalancing that, this beautiful energy of the sun. So the card in the middle is going to be our charioteer. And that is to provide us with a really good question to help us navigate these energies. So how can I best navigate the competing energies or the counterbalancing energies that are showing up here? Whoa, the Ace of Swords. So the Ace energy is an invitation. And swords are our thoughts, ideas, and perspectives. So here we have the Ace of Swords in the middle, inviting us to see clearly, It's when the truth is being revealed. What do we see and what remains to be discovered below the surface? Which I think is a really interesting card in the middle of these two. So in this time, in this period of feeling change afoot, hopefully moving from some rougher waters to some smoother waters, but needing to trust our intuition to guide us forward. And at the same time, feeling this optimism and confidence that we can show up as who we really are. The really good question is, how can we see this situation clearly and cut away what is no longer needed? It's this time of discovery. So let's pull a clarifying card from the spiritual meaning of birds. I was trial running this pairing, and I thought that they spoke very nicely to each other. So please clarify the Six of Swords, the Sun, with the Ace of Swords as the charioteer in the middle. And isn't that great? We have the lark. We have the lark showing up as our clarifying card. Let me just move these over. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook. Which is hiding on me. A lark could be telling you to cast off the shackles of responsibility for a bit and go on a figurative lark. Play hooky, visit the zoo, go get some ice cream, treat yourself to a new book. Do something out of the ordinary, something you've always wanted to do. The lark can also be telling you to experience more joy in your life. Are you working so hard that you've forgotten how to have fun? Think of the image of a skylark, flying as high as it can while singing. You can figuratively sing out to celebrate the things you love in your life. The lark may be reminding you that you do, in fact, have things to sing about. And that is, I think, a perfect tie together of this reading. Because sometimes when we're going through these periods of transition and change, we can be very internally focused and looking down, not looking up, not allowing the illumination of the sun to reach us. And yet, with clarity, we can see that there is this opportunity for joy, no matter what, no matter how much challenge or change or struggle we're feeling, there's always an opportunity to feel joy in some way, even if it's in some small way. So I think that's a beautiful message today. I hope that you enjoyed coming along for the ride. I feel like this was kind of a gentle message today, which is great. I think that that's what I needed to hear today, and maybe it's what you needed to hear as well. So thank you for being here. Please like this video if you do. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. And until next time, may the cards bring us truth bombs when we need it and gentleness when we don't. See you next time.